the Boston Business Builder that had a panel of entrepreneurs that, like you said, take their business very seriously and have been able to generate revenue from their business. You say, and statistics say, that many of the businesses that are opening are hobby-based businesses. They're not very successful. They're still making ends meet, and then they don't have any health insurance. How exactly does one take that? Like, how does it, like, I'm out here, I'm trying, nobody gave me anything, no one gave me any capital, no one, walked me through the process. I did this by myself and no one can take that from me. But I'm not making the money I want to. There's a fine line there. It's just like, well, give me my credit because I did something on my own, but you take it away because I'm not this thriving, successful business, but I don't know how.
I think you said it. I think the question is around planning, proper planning. A lot of entrepreneurs, they get into it for just the sake of, being able to, being efficient at doing a particular task and then translating that into a service or product. Very few actually get into the formal business planning that has to happen for you to be. It really is a difference between being a small entity and just looking at something where you're actually a scalable business. So that's where we focus our efforts on. We are really focused on ensuring that the entrepreneurs that work with us do the work to be able to understand their marketplace and become expert at it. And not only that, but equally important to be able to build a business model. And what does that mean? Well, it's essentially how you plan to make money over a particular period of time. I've started to become popular in this scene, especially, I do a lot of work at the Roxbury Innovation Center. I work with Fairmont Innovation Lab and a few of the other innovation centers in and around Boston. I do a good amount of work outside of Boston, I will say. But I think, that's, for me, the fundamental thing that I do see more of our entrepreneurs needing to be able to really maximize the potential for their business.
So, if I hear you correctly, there is a difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur.
Oh, without a doubt.
What is the difference?
I think it is training. Training, the expertise, skill set, mindset is key. I mean, I can't tell you how many people come to me and sit down in our programs and, they're just not ready. They think they are, but they're not. And they don't really have a clear understanding as to what entrepreneurship really is. I mean, the real sacrifices that you have to make. A lot of people are not comfortable with giving up a full-time job and really spending all of their time on a venture. It's safe to be able to keep a job. And, the truth is, if you really want to be successful at entrepreneurship, you're going to have to give it up. You're going to have to focus more than 100% on the venture for a long period of time. You're going to have to deal with a lot of loss, a lot of sacrifices, prepare yourself for, family breakups, divorce if that's the case. I mean, all the things that, no one likes to talk about, but it's a real reality. And we bring that to light in our programming so that people have a really realistic expectation of what they can expect along the way. And so it's not a false pretense kind of a thing. You're really in it for the long haul. So to say that you can actually grow a company in under 3 to 5 years, I mean, I would say that you're laying the foundation, and if you have proper planning, you're positioning yourself properly to scale, but absent that, you're going to be in it for the long haul. And I think, especially in inner city Boston, a lot of people don't know that, or don't see eye to eye with that, or, don't understand the realities of that. They're thinking about a 4,000 square foot home tomorrow because I started the business today, or maybe in 6 months' time. They're thinking about Range Rovers and everything else that come along with this. And, these things come with a lot of time and effort. And I think it's the more, and I'm very, very passionate about ensuring more young people know this, because I'm really big on inspiring more young people to become entrepreneurs, because it's really important to me that they make their mark in this world. I don't believe in a 9 to 5. I think it's very comfortable. And I think at some point in time, you will get recycled, and then you'll be left to think about what it is that you want to do. And, the idea of just being an employee at will doesn't sit well with me. Think about wealth creation. For young people, they're energetic. They're not like me when I was growing up. I did what I was told. And, many of these kids have, they're very vocal. They're outside the box thinkers. They're very creative. They don't necessarily fit into the academic, type of a setting. And these are the ones that I thrive to have in my programs because, they can do really, really, really powerful things. And I'm really big on making sure, I inspire more. It's really essentially why I'm here, to be able to try to get more young people to become entrepreneurs, because we really need them. I mean, we need the breath of fresh air, fresh insight, the energy and the drive. And I think with good support and counsel and a good environment, that can be attained.
So let's say, for instance, I'm a parent or a grandparent of a young person who kind of fits this mold that you're speaking of, thinking outside the box. I can't tell them nothing, but I do see potential here. What steps do I then take?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's listening to what your child says. I mean, a lot of us don't pay attention. Really, we hear them, but we're not listening. It's very important to understand what makes your child tick, or what excites them. I can't tell you how many young people, because I have a young men's program, how many of them, are into the creatives, and there's, from what I've seen, not enough of an environment to where they can get some experimentation with that. There's not enough room for that. So I think, to be supportive in that respect is critical, to allow kids to be experimental and to try different things. I know resources can be tight, but nothing to me. You have to work hard for everything. If you really truly want something, it's going to come with a lot of hard work. So I don't really believe in can't at all. So at all doesn't even ring true to me. I don't even know what that is.
So I can build a floating city that then submerges into a submarine.
Without a doubt. You just need to be able to do some market research, understand the landscape, and then be able to come up with a plan that's executable. It may not look in a tangible manner to be what you have in your head, but you'll have something that, I'm sure if you're thinking from a business standpoint, and that's the other thing, a lot of people going into business, they don't think about the fact that you're going into business. You're going into business, to make money. That is fundamental. You can't give back and help anybody unless you're able to feed yourself.
I know, but all these people need so much help. I have at least a little bit to give them, right?
Only until you're fed. Only until you're fed and you have enough cash. When I say cash on hand, the company's operating well. There's enough excess revenue. You have a cash balance account. You can give some monies away. Maybe start a nonprofit and do some stuff where you're giving back. And even that has to be strategic. It's all about strategy. So, I think if you're thinking in that kind of mindset, it can be done. But first and foremost, you have to eat. And you have to be doing really, really well before you can give back and help a lot of people. So, I tend to have a lot of entrepreneurs that are coming in with nonprofits and wanting to establish and do this, to give back. And
we want to help the world because no one else is helping us. So we have to create something to help each other. And then we start sinking and we're looking for help. And then the help that we started needs help itself.
Right. But that's because of improper planning. I think if you understand from a strategic standpoint that you're going in here to build, and you're building something that will take time, then you've got to be patient. A lot of people aren't patient, and with technology and all these advancements nowadays, everybody's expecting instant gratification. That's the problem, because the idea of hard work and perseverance and just, riding it out, it's gone by the wayside. It gets rough, everyone just drops the ball and goes back to what's comfy. And that's the difference, learning, executing a plan, learning as you go, making changes real time. Those are the things that matter, and taking a break. I personally have trouble with that because once you are really passionate about something, it doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
It doesn't turn off. It's the first thing you think about in the morning, last thing at night that you go to bed about thinking, and in some cases worrying because you're not really able to see everything yet, but you've got things to do. That's noted in the plan you started with, and the plan's going to change, and I think that's something that you also have to take into consideration as well, that as you go, the plan will change, and you just have to be somebody that's actively watching what's happening and making changes and learn from your lessons. I try not to make a mistake twice, because if you're not learning as you go, then what's the point?
What's the point? Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your men's program.
Yes.
See, most of the time when a female, feminism is real. Most of the time when a female is doing something, we're doing it for other women. But your focus is on our men.
Yes, men. There's a Center for Women Enterprise. I mean, they've got the women under control. I mean, the reason why this whole thing came to light was, I'm just very disappointed to see so little men venturing into entrepreneurship. Am I okay?
No, you're not.
Very little. I mean, in almost all of my classroom settings, where we do our entrepreneurial training, there's just probably one guy in the back, and he's there, very intimidated by all the confidence being exuded in the room by all these women who want to do X, Y, and Z, and they're all passionate about this, and there's no space or safe haven for them to be able to feel comfortable with peers and really work on their ventures. And, not only that, the opportunity gaps for men, to me, is significant, and it's very disturbing. I've worked with all kinds, and, I'm very, very sensitive to those who've had a criminal record, because, my goodness, the odds, talk about the odds being stacked up against you. Quite honestly, I think they're perfect for entrepreneurship because, think about getting a job, reentry, that whole process. I've seen it firsthand. And I think that's what's led me to create this program, because it's specifically for men from all walks of life. The program is essentially for young people, but then I'm really, really, really passionate about helping men. I would love to see community-based businesses that are owned by men that live and thrive, and they're thriving. Not just a business that we set up, but they're actually growing and perceptibly contributing to the local economies. I'm talking about Mattapan, Dorchester, Roxbury in particular. If we were to be able to get some of that going, I would be incredibly happy. And that's what I'm out to do. I'm really focusing my time and effort via my nonprofit.
So that means your business is thriving if you're a nonprofit.
So I speak from experience when I tell you this. You don't give back until you can stand on your own 2 feet and help others. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. But anyways, my nonprofit, the TLE Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, is really here to help local.
Hold on, at TLE?
Yes, TLE.
You said it like it was a name, TLE.
Well, it's when I started out, I created a web-based platform, and it's still something that's a support mechanism for my for-profit organization, and I hope to build it out fully to where it's a resource for both companies. But it's Trisha's List for Entrepreneurs, so hence TLE. Yeah. And it's what I dream it to be, because it's in beta phase right now. But what I dream it to be is a space where entrepreneurs can get access to all of the critical resources that they need online. Looking for, I don't know, an innovation center in and around their space, they can find it. They're looking for
so a Craigslist for for entrepreneurs that are looking for services.
Yeah, access to funding, investors.
Do you know LB Randolph?
No, I don't.
Let's connect you.
Thank you.
I got you. We do have a call on the line, 617-282-0062. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hello.
Good rising to you. T. Michael Thomas, how you feeling?
I feel blessed, but I don't want to tie up the line because I got to get ready for the class, but can you please link me to your guest so I can have a conversation offline?
Absolutely anything for you, Bossman.
Thank you. Great show, and I will be listening. Thank you.
T. Michael Thomas, the People's Academy. I was there recently on Monday and filmed the work that they're doing. They're doing an 8-week training program for sheet metalists. And T. Michael Thomas has it's a training component that pays the young men and women while they learn the skill. Yep. And it's a skill that's transferable anywhere around the world.
Right. You know what? I see a lot of that happening, but I'm seeing people being trained to do jobs. I'm not seeing them being trained to create companies and create wealth. And to me, that's just very disturbing. I'm like, well, what's happening? Why not? Why are, especially for, and I'm telling you, I'm very partial to those who have a criminal record. I just can't, it's so saddening. I do believe, I'm Christian, and I do believe that everybody deserves a second chance. It's not my place to judge anyone. And, if someone's fairly decent, and they're just, they want to make a go at it, they deserve that, and, certainly if they're inspired to do entrepreneurship, and in most cases, a good number of the people in our program, they've had a criminal record, most often a juvenile record, and they're turning themselves around.
No, they're not turning themselves around. They were juveniles, and they got caught. Half of these adults, if they got caught for some of the juvenalistic things they did as youth, they wouldn't have jobs today.
I'm with you on that. I was trying to be politically correct. I'm with you on that.
I got you.
I mean, so we work with men from all walks of life. Those who may or may not have a job, may or may not be in school, may or may not have a criminal record. The one thing that has to be, for me, key, they have to have a demonstrated interest in entrepreneurship or starting a business.
What does that mean?
Meaning that they really want it. Because a lot of people
say
that. They
sold popcorn at the last 10 carnivals. Mm-hmm. That's good enough?
Well, they have to be doing it for some time.
Okay.
Because...
Well, the 10 years selling popcorn at carnival, that's a commitment right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's and I'll be blunt, it's the hustler mentality and the hustler skills, the life skills. Those are the things that, you can't learn, to me, in an academic setting. Just getting out there and just being very, very
hungry.
Yeah, hungry for it. You want it, and the word can't doesn't resonate with you, So if that's the case, and because I'm pretty tough in my classrooms, the idea is to really break you down, So if you can get past that and you're still there, I'm like, okay, you've got a demonstrated interest. You're here, And you talk about somebody having an early stage business, what you described just now. That's also exactly what we're hoping to have. Somebody who's actually started something, but they need the expertise and the resources that we can provide to scale it, so that they can have employees. I told you our mission is really to be able to establish companies, with where these men own them and they're employing 1 to 3 employees on average. Mm-hmm. It sounds easy, but trust me, that's a feat, and it's not something that can be done overnight. I believe that in this case, it's something like building Rome, and we all know Rome wasn't built overnight. So, but it can be done.
So let's say, for instance, I am a newly open business. I may not or may have a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm taking from my household to make sure that this business sustains. Like, my mortgage is past due.
Been there, done
the
that.
The light bill is past due. We might not have any gas when I get home. But, I'm doing what I can to make the business afloat. I do not have money for consulting. Like, I don't have money for my mortgage. Mm-hmm. How do I even... dare myself to invest in a consultant when I'm struggling at home, my business is struggling, but I do need help.
So here's the thing, what's unique about us is that we work with you're not the customer. The Innovation Center is the customer. So that, if you go to the Innovation Center, you can get access to that resource. I don't like the word free, because if it's free, you're not committed. You're not going to show up. I mean, every time I hear free, I'm like, okay, I don't know that I can hang around, because you don't have any skin in the game. And even with investors or anybody wanting to support you, we're going to want to know that you've got skin in the game. You've put time in. You're really serious about it, and that's exactly the type of mindset that I'm looking for. Are you serious or aren't you? Typically in a classroom, it starts off with we get a bunch. 160 applications. And, people are sitting down there, we screen and get a core cohort. I know right away that half of these folks won't make it because, they say they want it, but then they don't want to do what it takes to do it, to get to that point. You talk about utilizing your personal funds and whatnot, but yeah, that's true. But it's also developing skills that you may not have, which would be presentation skills, and going out and being able to talk about your business and, building likability to where you're able to sell. Selling, it's really about selling, I will never touch my personal money at this point. I will always go to seek other people's monies first. And
how to win friends and influence people. That's the first time I ever learned about that.
Exactly. You know, getting comfortable with who you are, your style. It took me some time because I was in corporate. It was very just by the book.
What was your corporate background?
So I worked for Partners Healthcare System and healthcare administration, and much of my work was around startup development, business consulting, business reengineering, everything. So it's general management. So I have a wide set of skills. I mean, it just runs the gamut. I've seen a lot, you know, and I love it that way because it makes me. I'm on my feet. Yeah, you'd say that. I'm not afraid of anything. I really am. I mean, that's the beautiful thing with entrepreneurship. You know, it's uncomfortable all the time. So once you get used to that, it's like, whatever. Just let's get in here and see what's possible. I never tend to jump in first. I'd want to be able to see, you know, do an analysis to see what are the pros, what are the cons, you know, what can I expect? And even with that, and you never know what you're going to get, but you have to go in there with some kind of a plan, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right. So yeah, I think that's it in a nutshell for me. I will tell you also that for the Young Men's Program, we're building out a business incubator lab for them. And what that is, and the reason why it's really so important to me is, well, I don't see any. And I don't see any that's top notch. I mean, I believe that if you really want to inspire people to create, you know, reach for the sky, the setting has to look right, you know, so it's not like some basement type facility, you know, and you know, I know resources are hard to find, but that's why you have to get outside of your comfort zone and do things like selling and fundraising.
Well, you know why? I only have my basement, and I am doing the best that I can with what I have.
And that's fine, but that shouldn't be where the buck stops. You know, you should be thinking, I'm starting here, but within a particular period of time, I'm supposed to be moving out of here into something else, right? So it's not just, okay, I'm going to get comfortable and stay here. We all have to start someplace.
Absolutely.
I didn't have an office space when I started. You know, I was working out of my home. Then I went to a home office. Then I went to co-working space. Then I went to an office space, you know, and then I realized, well, you know what? I'm not going to satisfy everybody else's expectations and have a brick and mortar if it's the overhead's so high and it's not going to benefit me. I'm going to go to my customers and utilize their spaces because it's more cost effective for me and it gives me the ability to be able to position myself for sustainability. I mean, those are the thought processes that has to happen, right? So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're dreaming, let's not dream for the basement. You know, dream for the lab or the build out. In my case, I'm dreaming for my lab, and I don't want any lab. I want a state-of-the-art facility.
Oh, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want.
Sure, I really want a state-of-the-art facility with all of the specialty services.
Are you in New York? You said all.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, you're a state-of-the-art facility.
A state-of-the-art facility equipped with all of the critical resources that are specific to the demographic I serve. So what that means is, you know, it is a reality. A lot of young men, and I'm saying men in general. So men don't get offended. You know, it's just that I'm speaking the truth here from what I've seen. Have trouble with reading and writing. They have trouble with, you know, business etiquette. You know, they have trouble with dressing for success. You know, what does it mean to show up to a meeting? Simple things like that. You know, that you tend to think for granted is not happening with these guys right now. So those basic fundamentals in terms of personal development. You know, one could argue our anger management programs because
one would not argue. We would agree that some of our men don't understand the balance of their testosterone.
Yeah.
And it's because a lot of it is because of the atmosphere that they were raised in, and you know, the households that they were raised in. And when you have your mother telling you, little MF, put the little candy bar down here too, and I can understand why you might be mad.
Without a doubt. So that's okay to feel that way, but in business, you know, you never really want to be, you know, come across as emotional or really unapproachable or just irrational. I am tough. In business, you have to be, and I have no problem stating my position if something's it needs to be said, and I need to be firm. But you know, you must be able to maintain your calm and come across as professional at all times. And I think that is, you know, a skill to be learned. And so things like that. I mean, I could see this lab having, outside of just having specialty services being brought in, lawyers and marketers, accountants, just trying to think here, a lab for prototyping. Yeah, it runs the gamut. I mean, one of the things I've come to learn is, yeah, you can dream, but if you're going to do anything, do it in pilot phase, so you can really manage that really well and do that small thing really, really well before you intend to scale. Because if you think it's harder to do many things at one time, and that's, I think, something that I think is integral for anybody that's in entrepreneurship to remember. To be able to, pick one thing that you want to be known for and go after it, and don't tend to do any kind of type of scaling initiative or to offer another derivative of that offering until you've mastered that.
Mastered one.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the mirror right now, like Tayla, all of the things you've been doing wrong. So as a listener, because I'm still listening as well, as a listener, you're speaking to me, it's hitting home, the truth hurts, so all over here is beating red. How do I get in contact with you? Like, how do I fix these things that I thought I was doing right this whole time? And how do I work with you? How do I work with the Innovation Lab? I've never heard about this before. Do they have hours? My time is, are they flexible?
Well, I'm very selective with whom I work with, and that's because I have a particular brand to protect, okay? It's very important to me that I'm not seen as just a place where you come in, you sit down, and do nothing. If you're in the program, you're going to work. At the end of the day, you're going to leave with a business plan and the skills to be able and resources to execute it. So that's the difference. Right now, because I'm focusing on my Young Men's program, I'm at the Roxbury Innovation Center, and I'm talking about for inner city Boston, so I'll mention that. We have another program. We're doing one now. The cohort is mixed, and I love that. You have a mix of pre-start, early stage, and established businesses, and there's such learning, the learning component from
each other.
It's incredible, and we have that going on. So that's a typical structure, but we do another one in the fall. So you can check in with me via email and just ask when the next offering is. But I'm being highly selective with this. The reason being is because I'm looking to do a web TV series showcasing the journey, because you can only reach so many people in a classroom setting. And what I really wanted to be able to do was to be able to teach and inspire, as I said before, more young kids to see this and to think about, entrepreneurship. I can do this. And not, I just want to be a rapper and a basketball player. I hear that so often, and I'm like, okay, well, that's all? That's all you want to be? I mean, what else do you like to do? I mean, and when you
that's what's catered to them. That's all they see. And so they're like, these are the only things that are possible for me. When you're looking at, other news stations and they don't have a black man sitting at the desk, you don't think that you can deliver the news. You don't think you can be an engineer or, be the mayor.
Right. So my job is to change that. So I'm changing mindsets, right? So, you talk about how do I get, the first thing I'll ask you is where are you from a mental standpoint? You ready for this? And I'm able to test you quickly because we go through a series of screenings to be able to see if you're really
can we ask some questions? Is that possible? Can we?
Sure.
Okay. So, are y'all listening? We're going to do a self-analysis here because we are not one-on-one. You're not being graded, but I do want you to answer honestly within self, okay? Self? Okay. What is one of the first questions you would ask?
Why do you want to start a business? What inspired you to take the leap?
Okay, so I'm going to do a series of role development here. So, first of all, I don't like my boss, and my boss get on my last nerves, and I don't want to work for nobody else. I want to work for myself.
Wrong answer. Because I've not seen the thing that's going to make you passionate. What is it that you truly want to do? The thing that you would wake up that you would, and I'm being honest here, okay, that you may tell your kids you'll be late for. That you will ignore family for because, this comes first. You may miss church. I'm talking from experience here because this is important to you. That you will and be willing to walk the lonely road, and believe me, it is lonely. The thing that you'll be willing to do that for, and against, heavy opposition from everybody else that you know. Walk away from everything that you know and love and do. So, is there anything that translates to any of the things that I described? If not, then I'm just thinking, you know what? You're just not ready. You're thinking for a side, about some kind of hobby thing that you can do when you have some spare time. When you're doing this stuff and you're really passionate about something, you're going to be taking drastic measures. You're going to be quitting your job. You're going to be selling your house, renting. In some cases, then, if you can't rent, selling your house, moving in without somebody else, so that you can take the money that you have to, bring your vision to life, or at least put down the infrastructure. These are the things that you go through. And, you're going through this for a long period of time. We're talking about 3 years on average. So imagine doing that, and everybody seeing you go from being normal, so to speak, and just, and progressive.
And now you live with your mama.
Progressive, and you're going
you
backwards.
You don't go outside no more.
No, you have time for no one. Your kids are saying, we haven't seen you. You're telling them, email me, let me know how you're doing, and that would be the indicator that I need to spend some time with you, kind of. This is the reality of entrepreneurship. Being very, very lonely, being without very, very little, and being able to live, I wouldn't even say within your means, because you're probably past that. It's worse than that. And just still being so inspired to do this thing because you see what no one else can. Mm-hmm. And you believe it. 100%. That's the difference. When I meet the individual that can articulate that, I'm excited. And I'll be honest with you, that percentage is small. I just said to you, I
30%?
Not even.
10%? They are the 1%.
I'll say maybe 5 to be optimistic. Yeah.
Shout out to the 5%ers.
So that's my reality.
There's a small percentage of people that say that they want to be entrepreneurs that actually have it in them.
Without a doubt. That are ready. That are given something that they have to execute by whatever powers that be. They're given this gift or this vision that they have to execute. I'd like to think I'm one of those people, because I'm telling you, the things that I've had to give up to get here, it's been no joke. I've sacrificed quite a lot to get here. And it wasn't easy. It was the most difficult time of my life, but I was passionate. I was adamant on seeing it through. I cried. Loneliness is key. That's why I have 2 dogs.
Are they little or big ones?
Miniature schnauzers.
I don't know what. Oh,
Meatball and Silver. Oh my gosh.
That's their names?
Yeah.
She's so in love. She's so in love.
Yeah. They know all the secrets to my company planning, everything. Because I talk to these guys, about everything. And it's you're going to need that. Because, you can't trust anybody in business. You can't talk about anything in a very plain fashion in business. You can't be yourself in business. You really have to, in some sense.
I've learned that firsthand. When you're like, I have an idea, and then all of a sudden you see your idea on Facebook in the form of a business, and you're like, so I need to shut the hell up sometime.
Yeah, well, it's not so much about the idea sharing, because to me it's about the execution. Because you can share your idea, and somebody would be able to execute that, yes, but the manner in which they do so may be quite different from you. What you could do in terms of your skill set, your expertise, your vision. So I don't let that faze me at all. If somebody's, they're like, oh, I'm going to be doing, I'm like, great, sure, that's all right. See you around. No problem. I just know I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
And keep you out of my circle.
Well, it's smart. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be a little transparent here.
Sure.
I have a passion for a company that is not yet on legal paper.
Okay.
Educate to Elevate.
Okay.
And it's a series of events. We've had 2 already. Okay. One last year with DavidBanner. One this year with Professor Devin Robinson. And it tackles, DavidBanner, we spoke on race relations and we are not our past and Boston's history when it comes to race relations.
So let me interject.
Yes.
I don't hear what the product or service is that you're offering me. And
I don't know what the product is knowledge.
Okay, so we're going to have to work on that to make this more clear and succinct. That's the thing that you would do if you're working with me. I mean, that has to come across instantaneously. It's like, you've heard of the 30-second pitch?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to hear
elevator pitch.
Yeah, I've got to hear exactly what you're about.
I don't know what my elevator pitch is. I know I just want to educate people. I want people, because I believe that when you know better, you do better, and a lot of us know nothing.
So how then? How would you go about doing that? What skill sets do you possess and expertise, and what access to resources do you have that could help you do that in a tangible way? So that would be my next question to you in terms of helping you to narrow down your
I'm about
focus.
to be at the Innovation Lab today. You're laughing. I'm so serious.
Yeah, I mean, this is the work that, nobody wants to do. I mean, and I'm very blunt. I mean, look, if I don't hear what you're about in 30 seconds, I'm out of here. Because it's like, and the thing you'll know and come to respect is time is precious.
It is.
My days are very long, 4:30 a.m., 11:30 p.m. at night, on average, almost near 7 days a week. And that's because I've got to do it. That's the thing with entrepreneurship. No one's doing it for you. And no one's creating opportunity for you. You're creating it yourself. So if you understand that, it's okay. I don't wait for anybody to do anything for me because it's not going to happen. I know that already. I've been there, tried that, failed, and I'm like, okay, no, I understand now. It's up to me to be able to get this thing done. And I'm quite comfortable with that. Like I said to you, I don't believe in the word can't whatsoever. I'll be patient. I'll have setbacks. I may look stupid, quote unquote, to others because they don't see what I see, or they're expecting this particular outcome, and when it doesn't happen, you're a failure. And I've gone through many iterations of that now to know, okay, yeah, that's how it works, and this is the world of entrepreneurship. Too bad on you for not understanding that and being in this elevated space of growth and development. But that's my reality, and that's great. I'm just going to be patient, take the lessons learned, and keep going. Get back to the drawing board and see what went wrong, learn from that, and try it again. And that's the mindset you have to have, yeah. So also, So I also want to tell you guys that I'm doing a boxing fitness.
Hold on, what? I thought we were talking about business. Did we just jump into boxing?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because in entrepreneurship, you have to have a way to replenish yourself. I mean, look, the stress levels are usually intense. I mean, every day is hectic, And for me, health and wellness, it has to come first, because even if you don't acknowledge it, it'll hit you, right? So you have to find some way to replenish. And for me, I've always been a fitness enthusiast. I've tried all kinds of different types of high intensity type workouts and training, and boxing fitness. It's my thing. It is what replenishes me. And, I thought, well, if I'm going to be doing this stuff and, getting out there and having to do campaign work and fundraising, then I probably should do something like this, One, I love it.
Campaign and fundraising?
Political? No, in the sense of fundraising for a nonprofit. Okay. So that's the other thing that you have to do,
That is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life, is to, I felt like I was begging for money, and Grandma said you don't ask nobody for nothing, baby.
That is the first thing I had. I mean, culturally, that was very difficult for me because I wasn't raised.
You heard your grandmother in your ear every single time, like, "What are you doing in your room? Ask nobody for no money. Go sit down somewhere."
That's exactly right. So, just getting over that, it's another mindset, right? It's another shift in how we think. This is all mindset work, and this again, you're not just campaigning for campaigning's sake. You're coming up with a strategic plan for how you're going to scale your venture. So, it's like, in a for-profit environment, you're out raising monies and, seeking, different investments usually if you need financial support. But in the nonprofit world, it's, the fundraising aspect of it, looking for, things that can be donated, things that, or monies, sponsorships, all these different kinds of things.
Raffles.
Yeah, I mean, runs the gamut. So in my case, I'm thinking, oh, well, for our annual event, we're probably going to be doing something along the lines of boxing or boxing fitness, and that's what I'm looking to create now. So we've experimented with a 3-part boxing fitness event series, a 3-part event series, and the first 2 were great. I mean, we started out small, and that's normal because I'm used to that. You're not going to have a big crowd coming on. Nobody knows you. You have to earn their respect and earn their credibility.
Okay, fine.
Trust, right?
Thank you. You put my ego back in place.
The second one was bigger. The third one, the first version of the third one, I had to cancel because.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Let me learn from you really quickly.
Because we had some setbacks, which again is normal. And I said, okay, fine. What do we do now? I made an educated decision. I said, look, I'm going to cancel this. I'm not going to come out here and not do it the right way, the way I envisioned it. So I said, okay, we'll postpone it and do it again in 2 months. So
I should have canceled my event. I needed you in my life a month ago.
And don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. You're putting forward the best version of yourself every time, and that's got to be, central to everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're now at the second iteration of the third and final, which I'm totally fine with, and that's happening this Saturday at Everybody Fights Gym. That's a gym that George Foreman 3 owns. He's been very kind to us and letting us host our events there.
Where is this?
Free. This one is in South Boston near the Seaport area.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got like Everybody Fights Seaport, Everybody Fights FIDI, which would be Federal District.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he got an Everybody Fight Roxbury, because we should definitely talk the third about you being in these 3 boroughs of Boston that need you. The third.
I don't know. I mean, he's a businessman, so we're all thinking about what? What did I?
Where is the money?
Right. Okay. So fundamentally, that's what you have to be thinking about. In business. Maybe he'll create some. He has he does all kinds of charity work and whatnot. I understand, especially around youth, and I share that passion as well. So who knows?
So I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
Just throw this out. See if anybody catches it. So, what if, what is it? You fight? Is it you fight? We fight? The fight? What is it? Everybody
fights.
So, Everybody Fights Roxbury.
Okay.
And it's a nonprofit tailored to help young people let out their aggression. So, instead of shooting each other, they can just box each other.
I see.
And then walk away from the situation. And there's mentoring. And what is it called when it's not a mediator, not really a mediator, but somebody to walk them through whatever issue they thought they had, to realize that they're really just friends that are so similar that they hate each other.
Well, I'd argue that would happen organically in this type of a setting, because when you're into health and fitness and you're in the gym, it's almost like you leave everything outside and you're in there and you're just dealing with the back work and the different circuit training, because there's conditioning training that you do as well, and you leave that out, and then it's amazing how you're able to interact with people that you probably would have never even thought of to interact with outside. So it's a strange thing how that works, these settings of health and wellness. So I think you're right in that being I think an option. I think Foreman would be looking at me to be able to say, Trish, you can
make this happen, right?
You can purchase a franchise for me.
and
then put that in Roxbury and provide that service, and you can manage that. I mean, that would be the disciplined way to handle it, I would think. Because remember, I have to bring things back into focus, right?
Yeah.
We're in business to make money, and not only that. I mean, even if we're it is a nonprofit, we still need funds to keep the thing growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So. So that's my lesson to you.
I love this beautiful black woman in here teaching us about business. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want the listeners to know?
Yeah. Our boxing fitness event is this Saturday at Everybody Fights Seaport. I know that might be new for many of you, and you're like, where is that? But, I encourage you, for the sake of our initiative, to just come on out and show support. The tickets are currently $50, but, where I know that, and I'm very interested in having people from all walks of life come and participate. I'm willing to, and I'm offering a promo code, which will give you a substantial discount just to be able to participate if it's something that you're truly passionate about.
Because remember, free means you don't you don't respect free,
right?
So you can get a discount though.
Yeah. I mean, I have like about maybe 10 tickets set aside, and I'll be honest with you, it'd probably be for $10, just because I want to be able to make sure that I give back in that way for this kind of thing. You know, that's the type of person that I am. You know, Are they coming to box or are they coming to watch? No. So that's a great question. The fight's not yet. It's coming. But, you know, the truth is it's a boxing fitness event. So anybody can participate in this.
So for $10, I can come box.
You can throw some combination punches at the instruction of, you know, a trainer at a particular station for a couple of minutes or, you know, at a time, and then move on to kettlebells and move on to spinning bikes, a suspension station.
This sounds interesting. What is a suspension station?
It's, you know, where it's where there's some straps in the wall. If I can, I mean, I'm not really good sometimes at describing, especially at this time of day. I went to bed really late, and you know, you usually just fit into them, and it's good for core work. Mostly core. I mean, everything with boxing tends to be around your core and developing your core muscles, so muscle groups. So that is where
But it's not like Circus du Soleil, like
No.
I'm sorry, I had my own envision.
No. So what it is in terms of that, you would be at a station for a particular period of time and then you move on. So you can expect to have, let's say, for example,
so it gives you the full understanding of what it would be.
Right, 15 different stations.
Okay.
You know, at one station you may be doing some bicep curls. The other one you would be doing some burpees.
That's my least favorite.
I know. I can attest. Look,
I like everything else, but those burpees.
There's a DJ.
There's a DJ. Yeah. It's really, look, one thing I will say, the space is luxury. It is very high end, well thought out, very highly functional. From a resource standpoint, it's got everything you need in there. I mean, I wish he had some leg machines because I do lift, and that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, gee, if he only had this, I'd be here all day. But, you know, it's a boxing facility, so one can understand. But, you know, he has very, very highly trained staff. So it is really the best of the best that you're going to be getting. And, I'm offering a discount of $10, so I'm not doing that just to be able to get people in there, but it's more so to get those people who are not able to afford a $50 ticket and believe in their cause to be able to come and participate. Because I recognize that, you know. You can be passionate about something, but just not have the money at this period of time. I've been there, so I understand that.
Listen, Michelle Obama and Issa Rae are coming to Boston in September.
Yes,
September 25th through September 28th. And the tickets that we have are typically $1,300 tickets for $200. When I tell you nobody has the money, like I was just like, let me go count my pennies, like Nana said, to see Michelle Obama speak.
Yeah. Yeah,
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm
going too.
We'll see each other there.
Yeah. So, if you want to know more about how to sign up for the event, just go to www.TLECFUE.org, and I'm hoping maybe I can leave that with you.
Yeah,
in case people call.
Yeah.
It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon time, so for those of you late risers, you can still get there. It's 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., so it's not too long. It's going to be fun. Some of the young men that are in the program are going to be there to just express their thank you to you so that you can, see what's behind all of this. The code that you should use is FIGHT, FIGHT.
Right.
Yes.
And we'll be able to have that posted on the Facebook.
Yes, it's there now.
Yeah. Have access.
Yeah. So, our Facebook page is facebook.com/TLECFUE.
Say it one more time.
Yes, facebook.com/TLECFUE. And, remember the code is FIGHT. I tried to make that as easy as possible.
I think they should remember that. They should.
Yeah. So, we appreciate it. We know times are hard. We know that, this, everything, you've got a lot going on. Everybody has different things going on. So please come out and show your support for these young men. I'm hopeful that when you get to meet them, you'll see exactly why it's important and, where we're going with all of this. And, just everything that we're doing. I think it's just really
amazing.
Important for more people to be able to be part participatory, and also to help us build community buy-in for these young men, because once they start their companies, they're going to need people to be able to buy from them to keep them sustainable. So
absolutely. Yeah. So aside from the event this Saturday, how do I get, because I have a business that I'm trying to get off the ground. I don't even know my elevator pitch story, but
yeah,
you know, I would like to work with you, and I have an idea, and I already have a sustainable business, and I just want to take my business to the next level and not make $25,000 a year, but make $125,000 a year.
You mean your salary?
No, I'm saying
gross revenues, or your...
Oh, I wasn't even speaking from experience. I was talking about the listeners that may have businesses that are making, you know, whether they're making $14,000 a year or $14,000 a month. Mm-hmm. How do we get in contact with you to grow our business?
Sure. All right. I'll give you my for-profit email. That's essentially where I do my programming out of. It's TYS@TLEConsultinggroup.com. I'll do it one more time. TYS@TLEConsultinggroup.com.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Thank you for having. I really appreciate having us. Thank you, Justin.
Shout out to Justin Springer. Everything he does. I want to give a huge shout out to Faith Naturals. Face with an S, Naturals with an S, beauty.com. From everything, shampoo, conditioner, this new crack lotion, oil, body scrub that I am so in love with. It smells like hope. It smells like sensuality. It smells like, it smells like driving down the road on a long summer's day with a cup of lemonade. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It smells so good. This is probably the first and last time I'm going to talk about it, because she's going to sell out, and then there will be none left for me. So I'm not going to say, not saying it anymore after today. But from Pum Pum Wash to Yoni Steams to Yoni Eggs to the Pum Pum Spray and the Pum Pum Oil, which is my absolute favorite. She does have men products as well, from lotions to beard oils to bump oils to honey goat weed. Name it, she has it. I love it. You'll love it. 66A South Street in JP. Do not forget, I want us all to be legal firearm holders. Firearm Fred, 617-293-1011, has wonderful trainings on the weekends that can walk you through how do you work a gun, how do you take a gun apart, how do the bullets actually work, how do I get straight in the middle where the X lies. He can cover all of that for you. It's a wonderful date night, and he takes kids. So kids are Friday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and my kids love it. And just wait until your babies are ready. If they're ready at 8, then fine. If they're ready at 12, then fine. If they ain't ready till they're 17, that's a beautiful thing. But make sure they are prepared. Last but not least, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the cancers. Shout out to Alex E. Edwards, my broker, my favorite broker in the whole wide world. His birthday is celebrating the Cancer Bash this Saturday at Savor, whatever you want to call it, but they will be there this Saturday to get your dance on. The Cancer Bash, you got to show up in all black. I will be in all white. I'll probably be waiting outside for somebody to let me in, but it is an all black. Can't figure out how to get this educate to elevate topic, because I don't even have an elevator pitch. But I want to, because I just want to help my people. I want my people to be free. I want us to. Nana said, when you know better, you do better. And a lot of us don't know no better. So, maybe, possibly, if we knew better, we would do better. Last but not least, I wanted to tell you guys that I got my stock portfolio. Remember the caller that we had, the guest from Detroit, who had the workshop for the kids to teach them how to play the stocks and learn the stocks? Well, I went ahead and got my Stockpile app, and I absolutely love it. It makes purchasing stocks so easy. It makes you, as an investor, very educated. They give you free knowledge. Maybe they should be charging, because you have no respect for free. But it's amazing, and I love it. Stockpile is the app. Please download it. You can purchase stock for yourself, purchase stock for your children, learn more about stock. When we know better, we do better, baby. Let's do better. Let's act better. Let's get it together. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing day today. Mwah.
You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know I'm surrounded. You two definitely should connect.
I really did.
She needs.
Thank you.
She
Oh my
needs.
God, I don't want to mess up my head.
What's your?
Right here.
With my homegirl, my buddy, my friend, TaylaAndre, Boston's #1 talk show. Gentlemen, my Caribbean Expo on July 15th. The authentic Caribbean Foundation brings to you my Caribbean Expo. Come and experience the Caribbean's art and culture on the Bruce Kennedy Freeway in Boston. Learn to break and dance. Listen to some dances.
Thank you. And I really
and move to the
need
sweet
to
sounds of a live Caribbean band. All taking place on Saturday, July 15th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the Bruce Kennedy Greenway, Dewey Square in downtown Boston. This is sponsored by Marshall Manel.
I got 1,000,001 ideas, but I need to execute. Hey, my love. Let's read some of these comments. I didn't get to you. I do apologize. We didn't read them on air. Hey, all right, YouTube. I love you. Have a wonderful day. I thought you guys had some comments. I don't have no comments though. Let's see what the FASA book said.
Thank you.
Very true.
You should tell him.
You must giving your own times and needs. Just logged on. Can we get a reintroduction, please? Oh, I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. What is the name of the business? TLE Consulting Group.com. Good rising. TLE Consulting Group.com.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, one of the main things I want to do one day when I'm ready, maybe I can just back you up for now, is I want to have entrepreneur classes for the transition.
Okay. Yeah, totally, yeah.
I'll send you, there's a program in Jersey that kind of inspired me.
No, it was a good thing. I don't believe in that. And to be honest with you, it's there to waste time and distract you from the people that are making money.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, I was on the school for something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with music. But my first business I started, it wasn't really a business, it was kind of my friends would call themselves business. I named it after this business. And I just went so I just use the smartest person I know. He's the hustler I know.
Yeah, it's a hustler. I mean, if you've got a hustler mentality, you're gonna make it. That's why I like working with the men, especially men of color. Are you kidding me? That's what they gotta do to survive. All the odds are against them.
Selling drugs is the hardest job.
Oh, without a doubt. You can sell drugs, you'll be a multi-millionaire. You just gotta get legal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll check in with you shortly.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Let her and I'll send her
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now,
Where was your accent from?
Belize. I'm from Belize.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I really want to go. I went to Costa Rica, and I heard Belize was gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. I haven't been back in a while. My grandfather. I came here when I was a teen, and my grandparents were just, there, and I had some existing aunts. I have a stepsister still there, so because she's like, it's sad, but she's my sister. I'm not gonna, but
So you haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
We should go together.
Yeah. I plan to because what I want to do is to create I want to create a program.
The hot sauce over
Yeah.
there is amazing. Like, I dated a guy that was from Belize, and the hot sauce was to die for.
Yes, it is.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah. That's the staple of every relationship. No. 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 Yes. Okay, I know. I called you, Justin. I know.
So why should I be?
I didn't. Because I know me. I know.
Last time I talked myself out of it. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to shit. This is the first time I've been in a while.
I'm like, Justin, just give her my phone number and we'll make it happen. Go to sleep. Just wake up and give her my number. Then you can go back to sleep.
My alarm went off at 5:20. So like 1 minute after my alarm went off, you called. Like I saw your text.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
You
I'm
said
up.
you're here. I was like, give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
I was still in bed.
Really? All right, so do I put the code for the people?
Yeah, I would have the code there.
Yeah.
And so Taylor, can you share it on your radio?
Yes.
So people can,
Yeah.
Yeah?
You need to connect her with that guy too.
Yeah, LV Randolph.
Yeah.
Yeah, once,
Wait, that's LV Randolph?
yeah.
Wait, is that the same LV Randolph that played football?
No, I don't know. I don't think that's what he
Is
did.
he older?
He's older.
Unless it's his dad.
No, I don't think it is.
That's LV.
And it's, let's see.
So I took footage from my phone too.
Trisha. Center for Urban Entrepreneurship.
I'm going to head out because I got to run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice meeting, I'm
It
sure.
was a pleasure meeting you as well. I'm going to go ahead and connect you and LV Randolph
Thank
via
you.
Facebook.
Thank you very much.
She is so gorgeous.
Oh, God, we will.
Yeah. Huh?
So as soon as he sends me that sequence, I'll work on a commentary.
Okay, thank you.
We'll talk.
All right, thank you. So remember, the code is FIGHT.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you much. All right, see you. All right, nice meeting you.
You want to bring the kids Saturday? Yeah, I want that. You want to bring the kids Saturday?
Wanted to connect you. Oh God, I'm so sleepy. TLE Consulting Group.
You see how I make my moves, right?
I see you,
She's
Justin.
my client, but she's also helping me.
Wait a second.